Well, the American people are smart. And the thing that they seem to not realize is that the American people are as informed as they've ever been. They're watching TV, they're watching social media. They know what's up. They see Mike Johnson lying about Congress being in session when meanwhile, he canceled votes, he closed the House, the doors were locked, nobody was home. The Republicans didn't even bother coming back to Washington, D.C. And then they're going on TV, literally lying to the faces of the American people. And people are not stupid. I just walked out of a ballroom here at the convention center. We had almost 300 people in the room, 1,000 people online watching, and they're not buying it. They know that Democrats have time and time again stood for the American people. We're in the fight to protect their health care. We're in the fight to protect our democracy. We're in the fight to keep the lights on. And we're in the fight to protect our federal government and our workers. And they know that they're being lied to.
You know, Congresswoman, to the chairman's point, I think Republicans over the last 24 to 48 hours have been being asked questions about this shutdown fight, about health care, because of the issues that House Democrats and Democrats in the Senate have raised around the Affordable Care Act subsidies. And frankly, their answers just have not been great about the health care pieces. And now they're being asked about the polling, about what the American people think about this shutdown. I want you to take a listen of just a snapshot of some of the answers they've given today.
Well, the Democrats are trying to make this about politics, and I'm not surprised by some of the polls because the mainstream media is advancing their narrative.
I can tell you that's a very biased poll. I'm absolutely convinced that this is a political shutdown.
Why is it biased? Can you explain?
I don't even know who was it from? I don't even know.
The Washington Post. I mean, if it's biased, you should know which one it is. It's the Washington Post poll.
You know that the polls are going to say whatever they say based on the question that's asked. There's so much more to these polls, and you rely on the New York Times. You might as well say the Washington Post. They both are completely skewed.
I'm with Hallie Jackson here. Congresswoman, your thoughts? Well,
I always enjoy seeing Mike Johnson on TV when he's not telling the truth. I don't know if you notice he blinks a lot. That's his tell. But yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, the American people are smart. They understand what's going on. They're tracking what's going on. And if your best argument is making up some crazy lie about Americans' health care, about giving it to people who don't qualify in the first place for it, and posting racist memes online, then you're losing the argument, and the American people see exactly what they're up to. And again, I mean, just the facts speak for themselves. You are not going to negotiate a deal if you've locked out the members. In addition to that, they haven't even bothered swearing in the newly elected Congresswoman from Arizona, who is going to be the 218th signature for the Epstein disclosure petition on the House floor. So the American people see right through their strategy right now, and the polling is showing that.
I am curious, given that, Michael, you can feel free to pick up, but I'm curious what the Congresswoman heard at that town hall from actual Americans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, people are asking all the questions that you guys are asking. I mean, we're all Americans, right? Like, we're concerned about the president deploying troops to cities. We got asked about that. I got asked about healthcare. A lot of federal workers came to our town hall tonight who are furloughed. They're asking if they're going to get back pay, what's going to happen if they get fired. And one thing I do want to say is that there is a preemptive lawsuit already in the courts that was filed by the federal unions and Democracy Forward. It is illegal for the president and Russell Vought to try to riff and fire federal workers right now, and we are fighting back, and so we want our federal workers to know that they're protected. But people are just genuinely worried about how they're going to get their paychecks, how they're going to afford health care, and whether or not our democracy is going to survive the insanity of Donald Trump and his crazy people around him.